So welcome everybody to the first that I know of virtual facilitator virtual scavenger hunt. I'm so excited to share this with you today. I'm Michelle Cummings with Training Wheels. I've been working hard on building out this scavenger hunt for you all to kind of really show you what's possible, how you can take some of the existing virtual team building games that maybe you've watched one of my other Zoom sessions or recordings, and maybe that's how you found out about this, but now after taking and seeing some of the things that you've learned in some of those sessions, then throwing this into maybe more of like an event, like a 60 to a 90-minute event that you could possibly do with your clients. So, or your groups, or your families even, whoever you want to do this with. So today we're going to play, and first I'm going to let you, just in true experiential nature, I want you to experience this first as a participant, and we're going to go do the things. We're going to go play together, and then afterwards, after the hunt is over, we'll pull you back in. Then I'll show you the back end and show you how I built it out, and then just some possibilities. Here's some other things you could try out and do, and things like that. I built out my first scavenger hunt only a few weeks ago, so I'm by no means an expert at this. But I have I've built out several since then. I'm starting to get the hang of it. My first hunt probably took me about 8 to 10 hours to build out because I was still kind of learning, the back end and learning how it all worked. Now I can knock one out about 3-4 hours. So I definitely am getting faster at it, but like that's with anything, right? The more you practice something, the faster you get at it, the better you get at it and whatnot. So anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen here. I've got an onboarding slide deck, if you will, that I'm going to share with you. I will also share this with you after the hunt is over. So you have access to this. So it's something that you can look at, kind of replicate a little bit if you would like. And then you are, then maybe you might feel a little bit more prepped and ready to go do this out on your own. All right. So I'm going to, here we go, share my screen. All right, and here we go. All right, fellow facilitators and participants, welcome to the Facilitator Virtual Scavenger Hunt. So in honor of World Day for Cultural Diversity, I thought this would be a perfect day for us to do this, to where we are facilitators from all around the world coming together and learning some new things together. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is I'm going to send you into a virtual scavenger hunt with 4 other facilitators here. I'm going to send you out into breakout rooms in just a little bit. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to decrypt and open each lock one by one. And within each lock, there's going to be a clue, and you need to solve each clue or team initiative, figure that out as quickly as possible. So here's how it works. There are 7 padlocks in this particular hunt. So solve each clue and answer each question as you get to it. You must open the padlocks in order. Okay, so, and I want you as a team to stay in each one of those together, working together on those. I'm going to give you 30 minutes to complete all 7 of these challenges. Okay, so here's a sample clue. So in Paterson, New Jersey, there's a statue of Alexander Hamilton overlooking what? So you then can open up a separate internet browser and use the internet to find the answer. However, some of the clues you might have to unscramble or even figure out what the clue is before you even know what to go and search the internet for. So for example, this one here, there's a word scramble here at the bottom. You would have to figure out that that is Alexander Hamilton first. And then after that, then you can go and use the internet to go find whatever the clue tells you to do, okay? So now in a minute, when I open up the different breakout rooms in your scavenger hunt itself, then you're going to then type an answer into the blank box. So over here, if you look, so there's our question in Paterson, New Jersey, Alexander Hamilton is overlooking what? So you would type your answer into this answer box here, and then you have to click on this key here to see if your lock opens. If it turns green and opens, you have solved that puzzle, and then you can move on to your next clue. If it turns red and nothing is happening, that means you don't have the right answer in there, okay? Then you must click this blue arrow button to get back to the main padlock page, okay? All right, so here's what the main padlock page will look like.
Now, it's important that you do not close out this page in your internet browser. If you've got your internet browser open and you've got all the tabs at the top, don't close out the tab that has your main Padlock page on it. Otherwise, you have to start the hunt completely over, and that will make you sad, and we don't need sadness today, okay? All right. So in a minute, I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. Now, when that happens, you're going to see this box pop up. You have to click the join button in order to get sent into that breakout room, okay? All right, now, our first task, I want you to go meet the 3 or 4 other people that you are going to be playing with over the course of the next hour or so. 30 minutes for sure, but then, you know, after that, I'll send you into breakout rooms after that as well. So what you need to do first is introduce yourself to your new teammates, and then I want you to create a team name. You're going to need this name here in a little bit as part of the hunt. But you also need to notate the breakout room number that you are in. You need this number, okay? I'm going to give you 5 minutes just to first go introduce yourself. So quick introduction, and then we're going to come back in, and then I'll give you the access to the actual hunt itself, okay? All right, so I'm going to pull out of this now. I'm going to pull up back in here into, okay, I'm going to stop sharing actually. Stop sharing my screen, and let's see here. Here we go. Okay, so I am now going to send you into your breakout rooms. Make sure you hit join, create your team name, and then I'll pull you back out here in about 5 minutes time. So it looks like we have 217 people on, which is awesome. So I'm going to then put you into, we are going to have at least 50 breakout rooms, okay? All right, ready? And hit join. I just opened up all the rooms. Go meet your 4 or 5 new best friends and your new teammates that you're going to be using in this scavenger hunt. Ready, go. Make sure you hit join. All right. Make sure you hit join. Keitra and Hannah, I still have you in the main session room, so make sure you hit join. If you're having trouble, let me know and I can assign you to a room if possible, but it looks like you're supposed to be in a room. All right, so now I'm going to talk to just the camera a little bit because now this part is being recorded. Now while you all are in the room right now creating your team names, this is where, as the host, I kind of hang out here in the main session room. And this is where if I need to troubleshoot, if I need to answer any questions, I double check the group chat here and see if there's anything. Tomoko, can I help you? Do you need help with anything? All right. Hi, how are you? Do you need a side? Okay, I'm going to assign you to a room here. Here we go. Ready? All right, go join a room. And did you see did you get a pop-up saying, hey, join this room? You haven't gotten it yet? Okay, it's coming. Here we go. Looks like you were invited to room number Tamiko. Let's see here. Hannah. Look, Hannah, you're supposed to be in room 10. Let's see here, Tamiko. I'm going to move you to a different room and see if it will pop back up to you, give you a notification in a different room. All right. Oh, there you go. Yay, it worked. Okay. Jen and Luke, I see you here in the main session still. So if you want to look, I tried to put you into a breakout room. So see if you see a button there that says join the breakout room. All right, so facilitators.
this is the one part where you have to kind of troubleshoot a little bit. Now, this is a pretty large group. We have a lot of participants here today, so you might be running smaller groups. If you run smaller groups, it doesn't take this long to troubleshoot usually. So, but I always kind of maintain and make sure you're in here just in case anyone needs you and whatnot. So I just kind of hang out. But this is where some good stuff is happening in the breakout rooms. Then you'll pull everybody out here in just a little bit. I'm going to broadcast a message to everybody and just say you have 90 seconds to finish up. And then I'm going to pull everybody back into the main room here. So just so you know, as soon as I send everybody into the hunt, I'm going to start doing a little behind the scenes stuff as well. All right. Hi, everyone. Are you guys all finished? Okay, I'm going to close all the rooms then. If you're finished, got your team name? Okay, excellent. All right, we're going to start pulling everybody back in. They got 60 seconds. They have 50 seconds to finish up. All right. All right, welcome back. For those of you, the breakout rooms will automatically close in about 30 seconds, so we'll give people a few more minutes to get back in here, and then we're going to begin.
Congrats on such a great turnout, Michelle.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to have so many people here. All right, we have 9 seconds, and then the breakout rooms are going to close up, and then we're going to get going, and we're going to have some fun. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to move this out of my way. Okay, looks like everybody should be back in from the other room now, or from your breakout rooms. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again, go back into the my slide deck to finish up a couple of housekeeping things, and then I'm going to send you on your way, and we're going to start the fun. All right, so just so you know, let's see here. I need the slide deck. Here we go. All right. I have to move a few things around. Here we go. Okay, so next, what we're going to do here is final tips. There are a few challenges in the scavenger hunt that have built-in clues if you need them, and they are indicated by this little light bulb icon in the actual hunt itself. Try to solve the challenge or the puzzle without using it, but if you need it, it is there if you need it, okay? And at any point in time during the hunt, you can ask me for additional puzzle hints, or if you're having trouble, there is a help button in the breakout room. So it just is right here. You can also invite me into your breakout room if you need a little bit of extra assistance, or just click on this question mark here. It'll send me a little notification in the main session room of what you might need. Also, you can also leave the breakout room and rejoin the main session, and just to ask me a question if you want to, you can pop out and then I can put you back in. Or if you are having connectivity issues and you get kicked out of Zoom altogether, just rejoin the meeting with your same user ID and whatever, and then just let me know what breakout room number you were in, and then I can send you right back into the same breakout room that you were in before, okay? And if you need to leave early, I know a couple of you have sent me a message, what if I have to leave a little early? I've got this other engagement. It's totally fine. You can leave early. Just let your teammates know that, that you're taking off, okay? So final tips. Once you're in the breakout room, please have one person share their screen, because this helps everyone be able to see the clues, feel like you're connecting, be able to know what your group is doing, and you will need a pen and paper handy. There is several of the different clues you need to decipher, so you might want to have a pen and a paper or something like that handy, okay? All right, and so time check. Let's do synchronize what we're doing. Here in Colorado, it is 3:19, so I'll give us till 3:20 because I'll take about 60 more seconds. So at 3:50, in theory, that's when the hunt will be done. And then I'm going to pull everybody back in and we'll kind of debrief and share how the experience was, and then I'll show you the back side of this, okay? 30 minutes. So to get to your locks, I'm going to have you cut and paste from your chat box and paste this link into your browser. Someone on your team in your breakout room needs to share their screen. Then make sure you join your breakout room, and we're going to let the game begin, okay? Also, I'm going to show you one more thing is in a moment, when you do get into your breakout room, one of the clues will bring you to a unique slide deck for your breakout room number. That's why you need to know what breakout room you are in. And there are a lot of challenges that are going to be here in your breakout room, but there is a place for you to put your team name. Now, because this is Google Slides, I will be checking in on your progress in your breakout room. So don't be alarmed if you see somebody else in there, because it will be me, because I'm the host and I'll be monitoring kind of a little bit your progress, see where you're at in the process and whatnot, okay? So, all right, now I am going to cut and paste the link to the hunt into the chat box. So make sure that you have access to your chat box. As soon as I get it posted in there, then I will reopen the breakout rooms. And if you didn't, someone just said, I didn't look at my breakout room number. It's okay, I'm gonna put you right back in the same breakout room. So you'll be able to see the number. It's totally fine, okay? All right, there is the link to the hunt right there. And I am going to now reopen those breakout rooms and go have some fun. Bye.
I don't see the link.
Hit that join button right there in the, let's see here.
I don't see the link.
Oh, hold
Michelle,
on.
the link didn't go into the box. The link didn't go into the chat box.
You're right. It went to the waiting room though. Isn't that helpful? Isn't that helpful? I mean, it's so helpful. Here, hold on one second. Here it comes. And right there is the link. There you go. All right. So it looks like I'm closing the breakout room, so I'm just going to reopen them once again. That is facilitator error. My bad on that one. Mass panic. I know. You're like, oh my gosh, we just started. All right. So they're going to naturally close in 30 seconds, and then I'll just push you right back out into them. So my apologies. Make sure when you're sending messages, send them to the, not the waiting room because nobody's there. Make sure you're sending them to the main session room. So my apologies.
Don't feel bad. We've all done it.
Right? Exactly.
We've all done it a million times.
Right?
Speak for yourself, Steve.
And we'll keep doing that.
Right? And we'll keep doing it. That's why, if anything, we give each other grace in this time period, right? Because we're like,
Lots of
we're
love.
all going to figure this out. All right. So now all the breakout rooms have been closed, and now I'm going to reopen them. In theory, you have the link now. You are ready. And I'm going to open the rooms back up. Hit join. We'll start from 30 minutes from right now, which is 3:22, so 3:52. And here we go. Hit join. Go have some fun. We'll see you in a little bit.
Michelle, there's no link in the chat.
Okay, I'm going to type it in there again.
Yeah, there's no link.
Okay.
There it is.
There it is. Have fun. We'll see you back here in a little bit.
Hi, Michelle. I'm Amy. I was in group 46, but I switched from my phone onto my computer, so it may not
okay,
automatically
gotcha.
go.
You, Amy, you were in group 46. Okay, here we go. And 46. There you go. Denise, do you know what room you were in?
Hey, Michelle.
Yeah. Hey, Jose.
I was in 15.
You were in 15. All
I
right.
didn't 14, 15.
There you go.
Thanks.
All right. Fatima, do you know what room you were in? Anybody else need trouble? Hi, Jen and Luke. Do you need, I'm going to assign you to a room. You can go and join breakout room number 3. You're going to love breakout room number 3. All right, hit join. And then when you hit join, you can go and meet your teammates and go from there. All right. Janae, are you having trouble?
Sorry, Michelle, I just joined in. I don't have a room either.
Okay, all right. I'll put you in a fun room. How about that? Well, they're all going to be fun, but all right, there you go. And Fatima, there you go.
I was in 45.
45. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Route 45. It looks like it shows you in there, but you haven't joined it yet. So let me.
Where does the button go. I saw it earlier and then it
Got
went
earlier,
away.
now you don't. Huh, interesting. All right, I'm gonna move you to 44, but then I'm gonna put you right back into 45 and hopefully that makes it pop up, okay? So I'm gonna move to 44, but now I'm gonna move you back into 45, just so that way you're in the right room. Okay, did you get the notification pop up? All right, Jamie.
Oh,
are you
yes, I
having
did.
trouble? You got it. Okay, Jamie, are you having trouble?
Yes, Michelle. I was an 8. The thing to join went away, so I was an 8.
You were an 8. Okay, I'm gonna move you to 7, and then I'm gonna move you right back to 8. Hopefully that makes it pop up again, okay? Let's see here. Jamie, I see you. Move you to 7. I'm gonna make you, and then but I'm gonna move you back right back into 8. All right, you see it now?
No.
Okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not there.
That's so weird because it should have popped up just like the others. Joshua, are you having the same trouble? You don't see your room either?
I just got to get disconnected.
Oh, you got, okay.
Yeah,
go
so I'm
up.
rejoining.
Okay, do you know, okay, Joshua, do you know what room you were in?
Room 13.
13, okay. Oops. Oh, sorry, I just put you in 12. Hold on, I got a little clicky. I'm gonna, don't hit accept yet, I'm gonna move you into 12. Okay, Joshua, move to 13. There you go.
Cool, thank you.
All right, Fatima, let's see her. And Jamie, gosh, Jamie, what room did you say you were in?
I was an 8.
8. And I see you there, it just says not joined. So, I wonder if
There's nothing for me to say join.
click on the 3 little buttons above in your window of your,
My computer.
see if anything there says join.
My computer is getting an update, so I'm on my iPad. So
Oh, okay.
of course.
Let's see. I'm gonna move you to 7 and then move you back into 8 and see if that maybe pops up a new.
If it doesn't, my computer is coming back on.
Okay.
It updated and it's just now coming back on. So
Okay.
I would rather join on my computer.
Yeah. So yeah, hang out, and if it's not working, then on your iPad, then if you want to log in through your computer, I'll see you come back in, or just say hi to me, and then I can put you right back into group 8. You won't be too far behind.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Anybody else need help troubleshooting? Jennifer, what you got? Well, there you are. What
I just got here. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
had
no
to
worries.
run
Okay.
over, so
No
I just got
worries.
here.
I'm gonna put you in a breakout room then. I'm gonna look for one. Let's see. I'm gonna put you in breakout room number 6. Go join your team. Say hi and have fun on the hunt. Did you get the notification? Join this room? Yep, she did. Okay. All right. I have Keitra, Fatima, and Jamie in the main session. Is there anybody? I know Jamie's troubles. Keitra or Fatima, are you guys just on mute, just hanging out? You just wanted to log in to make sure you got the recording? Are you guys wanting to play, or you wanted to just hang out? Okay, Joshua. Okay, cool. All right, well, I am going to, Jamie, you're the only one I think that is like active, wanting to get in a room, but I can't get you there. So, but I think yours is just your computer issues. So I think we're good.
Are you there?
Sorry, you were muted. I just unmuted you. Go ahead.
I know. I said, I'm sorry. I said it popped up for me to join the breakout room, and then by the time I went to punch it, it was gone.
Ah, shoot. Okay. Well, I guess I can try moving you around again and then seeing if it pops back up again. Let's try that. I'll move you to 7, but then I'm going to move you right back to 8. Move to 8. See if it pops up.
It says it's moved you to breakout room 8, but nothing ever pops up.
Well, that is really weird because it's worked for other people that way. Oh, it worked. Okay. Okay. Phew. For those of you watching this recording, it was painful. I'm so sorry. It was a little painful for me too. I'm like, oh, trying to troubleshoot, figure it out. We get by, right? All right. So now everybody is in the hunt and they're having fun. And so I'm now going to show you what they're experiencing behind the scenes. Okay. So now I might have to stop sharing my screen here and there in case somebody pops into the main session room. I don't want them to see the answers and things like that. Plus, I'm still kind of monitoring, you know, if someone raises their hand. So just know I might have to pop in and, you know, actually monitor and host this hunt. So stay tuned. But I am going to share my screen and share with you what people are experiencing right now. Okay, so this is the hunt itself. So the first clue here is when people click on this first, the first lock, it just says introduce yourself to your team. Each person pick one of the icebreaker questions below, share a response with your team, and when finished, type your team name into the box below and continue to your next clue. So we're gonna pretend that our team was Team Awesome, right? And then when they hit enter, the lock opens, makes kind of a fun noise, and then they get to move into their next clue. Okay, so I'm gonna actually just rearrange things on my screen just a little bit so that I can actually make sure that I can see whether or not somebody has popped into my room or not. Okay, oh actually, okay, all right. Okay, I still only have just the 2 people in here that have been unresponsive. Okay, so then they go into clue number 2. Proceed to this document. Find your team's unique slide deck for the scavenger hunt. And so this is where I've actually built out 90 different breakout rooms because I wasn't certain how many people were going to be showing up to this bad boy. So I built out a lot, just knowing that if I had extra, great. And if I didn't need them all, then that was okay too. So they click on this, and then this will take them to their first team challenge. It'll take them to their unique breakout room and their slide deck for their team. So this will be where they do their first team challenge. So we're going to click on this, and what it's going to take them to is a PDF of a Word document that I made that I created hyperlinks for all of the different breakout rooms. And so that's why they needed to know what the breakout room number was that they were in, because each one of these will take them to a unique Google slide. Okay, so let's just go peek in on a group and see what they're doing. So let's do breakout room number 8. We're going to peek in and we're going to see if there's been anybody in here on group number 8. Oh, hold on. I just got a notification that a group number 25 needs some help. So I'll be right back, okay?
Chat.
What's up?
Hi, Michelle.
Hi.
We had a quick question for you.
Okay.
We went in and we were typing the words for the first, second unlock, and then we got bumped out of Google.
Oh, you did?
Well, I got bumped out of the
You got
whatever I
bumped
was
out of the
typing
hunt?
to here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, let me I'm gonna jump out of here. I'll go get the link for the hunt, and then I'll be right back. And then I can, I believe, send it. I can type it. Is there a chat function?
It's still in the yeah, I think it's still in the chat feature, right?
Yeah, we could probably grab that. Hold on, let's see.
Yeah, there we go. If we leave that room, come out, it should still be in the chat box.
Here it is.
There it is. All right, you got it?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I
I'm
have
gonna
it here.
add it to you, Rebecca, right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, now
go.
let me see here. Do I need
Oh,
to?
okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Welcome.
now I need to, I think.
I just added it back in the chat too.
Okay, perfect. And then, okay, I'm gonna leave the room then. You got what you need?
I think so.
Yep.
All right.
Thank
Okay, I'm back. I don't know what that did in the recording, so I'll go back and watch it later. But that group, they closed out their main padlock page, so they were freaking out, couldn't find the link. So anyway, so they had to pop back out here to the main session, snag it out of the chat box, and then go back into their session. So, all right, and it looks like Lisa. Hi, how are you? Are you just joining us? I'm going to assign you to a breakout room so you can go join the hunt, which is already in process. So I'm going to add you to breakout room number 8. Go ahead and hit join, and you can go and join the hunt. Okay, in theory, everybody is back on track and in the hunt. All right, pause for a moment. Hi, Kathy. Are you just joining us? You are.
I had trouble with the registration, the link. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. I'm just going to put you in a breakout room. They're already started on the hunt, but you can still join in on the fun.
Thank you so much.
Go ahead and hit join, and you should be good to go.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay. All right, Jamie. Okay, if you are, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to start recording again. So I'm now going to share my screen, and let's go see if we can peek in on a few groups that are in process. All right, so here is breakout room number 8. So let's go see. Their team name is the Great 8, and it looks like down here, looks like they have already done clue number 2, so which is a word circle puzzle challenge. So it looks like they've already moved all of these around. If I want, I could go into group number 1, and you can see the difference. So they actually moved their words around and got it to go into a circle. So they've got that one working on. So how this looks is that I literally have 90 different breakout rooms in process right now. So I could go I could go into group number 28 right now and see what they're doing and see what their team name is. Their team name is the VW Virtual Wanderers. And they too have completed their word circle puzzle. So I like to use Google Slides so I can kind of peek in and see what people are doing, see how far along in the hunt they are. It just kind of helps me manage time a little bit. Speaking of managing time, I need to broadcast a message into the breakout rooms. Looks like they've got about 10 to 12 minutes left in this hunt before I pull everybody back in. And so, so that I can also, as the host, you can broadcast messages in and whatnot. So, but that was clue number 2, that they can go, and then there's a little clue button here that they could click on as well. And then clue number 3 looks like this. It's World Diversity Day, and to celebrate facilitators from all over the globe, they have to identify the flags below using the first letter of the country to decipher a unique location honoring a facilitator favorite tool. All right, I'm going to actually, I got summoned into a breakout room, so I'm going to stop recording for a moment, and then I'll be back. Okay, so this is the hunt. There people are now. So they have to identify what all these flags are, and the first letter of the flag of the country will help decipher out a clue here. And at the location indicated by this deciphering puzzle, they have to figure out where that is in the world and then figure out what year it opened. This is a fun one. I'm not going to reveal this one just yet, okay? Then they would come back in here, and then they would type their answer in here. And then they go to, then we debrief. About midway, we debrief. And start getting the conversations around roles, responsibilities, and things like that. Okay, so I paused for a few more. Okay, are you guys finished? Did you get all the way done? Yay, nicely done. That's exciting. All right, it is 3:55 here, so I'm gonna actually close all the rooms and bring everybody back in. But nicely done on finishing the hunt. All right, let's see here. Breakout. Are you what?
We first?
Well, you're the first. I did have somebody else have me pop into their room and say, we're done, now what? So I don't know who got done first, but either you guys or them, but probably a
We've been done for 15 minutes.
Of course you have, because you were that awesome in that. All right, I'm going to close the breakout rooms, and they just got a 60-second, and now they're all freaking out in there right now. They're like, oh my God, right? And then it'll just naturally push everybody back in here in just a moment. So, did you have fun? I hope you had some fun. Good.
Could you add 15 minutes? We're really.
I know, right? Everyone needs a little bit more time. 30 minutes is a pretty, it's short, especially to do 7 different clues. That's a pretty short time period. So, all right, welcome back. The breakout rooms will naturally close in 20 seconds. I'm sure a few of you are like, no, we needed a little bit more time.
See how everybody.
All right, here
There
they
we go.
All right, now.
1 second.
Get back over there.
Everybody is back in the room. All right, so, oh my gosh, how was it? I hope you all had a ton of fun on the hunt, and I hope
more time.
an idea of how you can maybe incorporate some of this team building stuff that we've kind of been learning and doing along the way with your unique groups and your facilitators and or your participants that you're doing. So now what I want to do is kind of pull you out, show you all the back end. Here's what I did, to really build out this particular hunt, and then show you some other examples of other things that you could do as well. Now, some of these, I took some great example. I had some good role models to work from. Dave Blum with Dr. Clue. I've mentioned him in my newsletter the last couple of weeks. He invited me to a couple of his hunts, so I learned a few of these from him. So he's been really invaluable in helping me kind of at least get the creative juices started on how to make this into what you just experienced today. So now I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of the back end of this. So first and foremost, you have to have kind of an onboarding slide deck. So, and again, I'm going to give you access to this so you've got it, and that way you have at least a template to kind of follow, if you will. But really, you just kind of at the very beginning, you've got to onboard people into the process, right? Like you've got to kind of let them know. And so I just, I did a lot of screenshots, taking pictures of different things. And, this here is actually, if I move this around, this is multiple, like the circles and all that stuff. It's multiple layers. That's just a PowerPoint feature, right? So I've been doing PowerPoint for a while. So I just kind of know that, when you use the animation feature, you can have things appear and different things like that. So, anyway, so again, I'm going to give you access to this so you've got it. But this is just the onboarding process, and that just, again, kind of explains what it is that you want people to do. And these are just screenshots and things like that. So when you do go to build out your own slide deck, you at least have a template to go from. All right, so that's the onboarding deck. Now let's get into the hunt itself. So I'm going to show you now what the hunt looks like behind the scenes. So really, this, I did not create the actual back end of the hunt by any means. This is a Flippity platform. And so just poking around in Flippity one day, saw this Flippity scavenger hunt template that they have here. So there's a demo on how it works. Here's really good instructions on building out your own. So I highly recommend you just go there. It just pulls it, right up. It tells you make a copy from this template. I mean, it's a Google spreadsheet is what it is. The one thing that you need to make sure you know how to do is publish it to the web, or it does not work. And you're like, why isn't this working? It's because you haven't published it yet. So you've got to publish it out there live before it'll actually work. And then there's also, then the template is right here as well. So that's where I started, and literally just kind of went from there. So let's see here. So let me go into the actual hunt. So this is the hunt, what you saw, right? And then you click on each clue.
here's actually, because I know some of you didn't get all the way through it, so I'm just going to walk through each clue first, then I'm going to show you the back end. So this first one, this is just an image that I inputted in here. And here you can actually type in whatever name you wanted to. So any answer there would have been fine. I put in Team Awesome, right? And then go here, that's where then when you click on this, you know, it went into that PDF that had all of the breakout room assigned. And so what you don't know is that then what I can do, I have all of your breakout rooms in my in a folder in my Google Docs. So at any point in time, I could click on any one of these, and I could go in and I could see exactly where you're at in the hunt. So this makes it nice for me, the facilitator, to kind of gauge where people are at in the process. So this group here, breakout room 44, they were named the Fab Five. And so I could go in and look and see, oh, look, I can see that they've now finished, we're, you know, clue number 2. So they're going to keep working through. And I purposely added some mid briefs along the way because I wanted you to show you, here's how you can incorporate some of that debriefing stuff along the way, because it's the really important stuff, right? And then here's the creative challenge, groups getting, you know, unique things near them and holding up the different things. So again, and then I can actually see how far this group got, because if they still have their Google Doc open, it tells me right now how many people have this open right now. So I can tell that they got to at least this part. They probably got to, and then down here at the end, I could also see, that's where I can see their debriefing responses and things like that. So that's what, now this was a pretty large group. Not everybody's going to be leading a group that is quite this large, but that just gives you kind of an idea of how you can kind of be behind the scenes and managing things kind of, or at least checking in on progress without breaking into one of the breakout rooms and saying, hey, where are you at in the process, right? So that was number 2. Number 3 was the flag one. Okay, I had no idea there was a rubber chicken museum until just this week when I started building out this hunt. And so I was like, so really how I've been building out some of those clues was, I'm like, all right, this group, unique to facilitators, what's something that most of us would have that might be kind of fun? So I'm like, I wonder if there's a rubber chicken statue out there in the world. So I literally just Googled rubber chicken statue and I found the rubber chicken museum. So I was so excited to find it. And then, so then of course, then you have to, and then I was like, okay, it's World Diversity Day. What makes us really diverse? And all these people call it, and I was like, flags, right? So, and then I just found a website that literally had every country, all the country names alphabetical. And so that way then I could click on them and I could find the ones that spelled out RUBBERCHI, right? Rubber Chicken Museum, right? And then I knew you'd find the internet to go find. So of course, whoops. So then I come here and it opened in 2018, right? And then number 4, again, we're 4 clues in. So I wanted you to kind of brief a little bit. How's it going, right? Now I designed it to where this one here, you could type in whatever you wanted to in this one, and it really wouldn't matter, and the lock would open. But you don't know that, right? Or your participants don't know that. So, but this is one where it, you know, I wanted you to be thoughtful around what are the roles that are kind of forming right now, and put the role, the person's name, and things like that. So that's one of those little facilitator tricks that the participants would never know, but I know, and now I know that they're debriefing at least a little bit, right? And then clue number 5, this one is the creative challenge. I love this one. I actually learned this off of Mark Collard, who I know is here on the call, and Chad Littlefield and Will Wise when they did one of theirs, and they used the creative challenge where they hold things up in front of the mirror. I love that. I'm like, oh, I'm totally going to use that in my hunt. So thank you for that idea, Mark and Chad and Will. And so what I love about this is now you're having fun together. Represents, for this one here, it represents your unique ethnicity and culture, or it could just be, think about whatever groups you're working with. It could just be something else that's really fun. Okay. And then of course this one, I think it was just type in done. Yep. When you get back. And then this one here, the SOS clues. All right, now did this one stump you? I kind of hope it did a little bit. But this one here was kind of fun. And when I came up with this one, I actually came up with this clue for a different hunt that I was doing for a group of middle schoolers. And so I was like, all right, I'm going to type in unique rooftops of middle schools and see if I could find something out there. And lo and behold, I found a middle school near that rooftop in Japan
that now you don't know. So this, of course, is Morse code. So first you have to figure out what that is, and you have to go and find it. And you don't know this, but I've actually got a little Easter egg hidden right in here that if you actually click on this right here, it'll take you, Google Earth. It'll take you and launch you into Earth. And then, of course, for those of you that didn't get to see it, you're going to get to see it now. But as soon as this loads here, we'll see that the rooftop of that building near the Rikuyu, if I'm saying that right, middle school in Japan is, oh, buzzkill. It was supposed to like load right when I got to the end of that sentence, right? It is, there's Batman, right? So, so there it is. And the middle school is actually a little bit further away from here. It's like over here somewhere. But it got you at least close by to figure out the coordinates for that building there. And there's Batman. So anyway, so I promise you, if you start Googling unique rooftops, you're going to find some crazy stuff out there. So anyway, and then of course the last one was debriefing, and where I wanted you to go back into your slide deck and answer some questions together and whatnot. So that's the front end, right? And then of course, if you finished and you opened up all of those, or if you opened all of them, then it gave you a timestamp on how long it took your team to do it. Now, you know, you can make them a competition if you want to. You know, competition versus cooperation, it kind of is up to you how you use that. Some groups are like, did we win? Did we win? And other groups are like, oh, we had a lot of fun, right? So it's kind of up to you and what you decide to do with that. All right, now I want to show you the back end. Actually, I'm going to pop out for 1 second because when I'm in presenter mode, I don't always get to monitor the chat box. I see that there's been chats come up, but it doesn't necessarily, I can't see them when I'm in presentation mode or when I'm sharing my screen. All right, so I'm just gonna, so if you have a unique question that you need to ask me, then you know, keep popping it in there and I'll go back to them and answer some more as well. So one question I see here, do I make unique hunts for every group I facilitate? Yes and no. I would say my slide deck, my onboarding deck looks really similar. But then like I had a university request that I do a unique hunt for their students right now. So I just finished one up for Western Oregon University, and I made the hunt very unique to everything on campus. And they had to find unique buildings, they had to find a statue on campus, and then they had to notate the building number that was right behind the statue. So and then they also I had them Googling historical things that happened at the university and inputting clues like that. So, I mean, it just kind of depends on what the outcome of your program is. If you want it to be more team focused, then you can do more of the team challenges like I did, like word circle puzzles or other things like that. If you truly want it to be to where they're still working together on different things like the Morse code challenge and different things like that, and finding unique things out there in the world, then you can make it more like that. Now for me, I try to do the debriefing and mid-briefing along the way just so that it goes a little bit beyond that team bonding and more into the team building. So if they're getting to debrief. All right, now I'm going to show you the back end of this particular hunt. So this is what you saw as the user, and now this is what this hunt looks like behind the scenes. So what Google Docs, what Google ended up doing is they basically created an Excel spreadsheet that has some probably unique coding to it, and they've got different coding brains than I do. But this is literally, this column here is the clue column. Column A is the clue column. Column B is the hint column, and column C is the answer column. Okay, so there's unique things that you can do in here. So if I open up one of these here, so this one here, introduce yourself. Each of you pick an icebreaker question. Now for that photo to be on that page, then I had to import an image. So this is an image there that it has a unique link to my website. So if I go into the training wheels, the back end of the training wheels website, let me just click in here real quick. And so once I'm in the back side, then this is where my website's built in WordPress. So when I just go to my media here, this is how I add new photos and different things like that. So this is all the different hunts and things that I've built out in the last little bit, all the images that I wanted to put out there on the internet. So for this particular one, that photo, the find something or you know, unique about yourself is this photo here. So anytime you add something, or at least in WordPress, to a media to your website, then there's going to be a unique link in here. So I just copy it here, and then I go back here to the template, type in that unique link where that photo lives in the internet, and then when you publish it, then it'll pop up like it did here on group number 1 here. So that's what it looks like there. So then, and for this one, the answer could be whatever people put in there. So, and then in the flippity instructions, if I were to download this template here, do I want to make a copy of that? Yes, absolutely. In the template itself, it shows you all the different ways that you could put your answer in. So like this one here, how old are you? If you wanted to have any answer get put in there, then you just type in the asterisk, okay? And these options that kind of explain are down here in this bottom link here, of how, if you want the setting to be case sensitive, if you want it to be sequential, all of that, they give you the options and things like that down here at the bottom of this page here. Okay, so, and then also there were a couple of them, like if there's a specific, like for the word circle puzzle, there was a specific order that those needed to go in. And so let me go back to the facilitator one. So in this one here, that's the correct answer. And if you mess it up, then you can't open that lock. So this one here, comma, you know, with comma space word, that will, the hunt will only accept that specific answer. Okay. So, and then my clue, I gave you 3 of them there in the clue, just so that way you could see the format. And then also, hopefully that helped a little bit. And then, you know, and then as far as the Word or the PDFs that I have in there, I also, on the back side of my website, if we pop back into the back side of the Training Wheels website, then this is also where I put in, so here, let's see here, there's the World Diversity Day one for the Rubber Chicken Museum. So I basically made a PDF of that document. I'm adept in Publisher, so that's where I built that out first. So I built it out in Publisher first, and then saved it as a PDF, uploaded the PDF into my website, and then got that unique link, and then cut and pasted it into the hunt itself. So that's how you do that. Now here's one thing that I screwed up that I'm going to tell you. You have to have the word link in there before the website, and also these 2 brackets. Those 2 brackets on the front end and the back end are very important. Because if you take those out, then it doesn't do what you want it to do. I learned that. It took me about an hour to learn that lesson. So I'm sharing it with you so you don't spend that same hour that I did. So, and then your clues, you can just make them be whatever you want them to be. For me, I was like, I didn't want to give it away, but yet at the same time, if people were struggling, like look for the museum with the world's largest rubber chicken. I didn't know that was a thing. And now I kind of want to go to Seattle and go visit and get my picture next to the world's largest rubber chicken. All right, so then basically how I found that is I found an article online. I'm like, okay, what's one piece of information in this article that could be an answer? And then that became the answer, okay? And then the debriefing one is, again, just an image, and then I put it in there to where anybody could, any answer is acceptable. The creative challenge, I just love. Also, I intentionally put the creative challenge about the 4th or 5th challenge in, because in theory, it also made some people get up from their seats and go and get an item and then bring it back. So you're incorporating a little bit of movement because it's a long time to be sitting and things like that. So so that is intentionally, I put that in about the 5th one. And then this one here is the Batman one, the Morse code one. That one has been it's been a fan favorite for the other hunts that I've built out already. They like that one. And then the debriefing one for this one, I put in at the very end. Again, for me, I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to show you all, here's how you can make sure that your groups are debriefing along the way or then at the very end, right? And to be able to get into the breakout rooms and really see, whoever's group this was, Steph, she felt excited the whole time, right? The whole process, slowing down when it gets competitive, things like that. That's just kind of fun. And so you all, if you've got the unique link, and
then you can actually go and make a copy of this slide deck as well. I made it public so that way, A, you all could be in here working on it at the same time, and then B, also so that you can make a copy of this so that you can also have another template to go from. Now, like I said, I built out 90 of these rooms, I wanted to make sure I had enough built out in the moment so I didn't have like multiple teams working out. And I learned something. Once you get into the breakout room feature, Zoom only allows for 50 breakout rooms. So I really only had to build out 50, but I built out 90. So that's why I kind of like to keep 3 to 4 people per room, because then I think it allows for the right mix of searchers, hunters, you know, to where one person isn't just sitting and letting everybody else do it. I think 3 or 4 is pretty good. Now, because I didn't know this was a teachable moment for me right here in the moment, but it stopped at 50 rooms. And so, so therefore, there were probably a few of you that had maybe 6 people in your room and things like that. I didn't know that that was a thing until now. So there you go, teachable moment. So, so that's kind of, I'm going to stop sharing for now and just go and look at the chat box and see if there's anything here. Yes, Mark did put in there Flippity. Yeah, Flippity gives step-by-step directions. That's how I learned how to do Flippity. I literally built out my first one just, it's probably been about 4 weeks now maybe that I've built out my first scavenger hunt. So, so yeah, step-by-step instructions. Just go back to flippity.net and download the demo as well as download the instructions, and you've got everything you need there. I am going to, when I send you the recording to this, I will also send you, you know, a link to the PowerPoint slide and a link to, a link to the breakout room document. That one there, I just made a Word document and made a hyperlink in each one of those breakout room names. So that way then it took you to your unique breakout room that was kind of associated with that. So it's time consuming. That took me, to build out 90 rooms and to create those documents took me probably 3 hours to build all that out. So just know the larger groups you have, and if you want to do it like this, it will take some time. I want to show you though a different way that you can do it. I did a scavenger hunt earlier today with a different group, and I want to share with you how I did their hunt just a little bit different. Let's see here. Let me pull out here. Let me go to, here we go. So in this one here, I knew it would be a little bit smaller group, and so it was about 20, 30 people at a time. And so what I did here was I just had one slide for each one of the breakout rooms. And so, so what I had them do then is first come here and type in their team name, and then I had them, that's their creative challenge. And then if they got to clue number 5, I only did a 5 lock for them. But if they got to this one, then they also could notate their time, take a screenshot of what their final time was, and they could put it in here. And again, for me as the host, then I had all the participants working in one document, and I could really see where people were at in the process. This was, the creative challenge was clue number 3. So it was a way for me to kind of monitor. I knew they were about halfway done when they got to this, and things like that. So, so just kind of helps you as the host kind of just kind of peek in on what they're doing a little bit and be able to know where they're at in the process. That can be really helpful. So let's see here. What else? Let's go ahead. If you have a question that you want, throw it in the chat box right now. I'll try to answer a few more questions and see what else I can answer for you. How was that example different again? Kyle. Okay, so so for that last group that I just showed, how this example was different. Let me go ahead and share my screen again real quick. How this was different than what you all just experienced is that I had all the see how this is breakout room 2, and this is breakout room 3, and this is breakout room 4. So I only had one link. I didn't create 87 breakout rooms. I created one breakout, or I created one Google Doc. I did put them in multiple breakout rooms, but I created one Google Doc, gave everybody the link to this one document, and then they all were going here. But again, it was only about 20-ish people. It wasn't 300 people that were all working in one document. And so, so I just made it to where then I could monitor the entire hunt from one slide deck rather than 90 slide decks. that's how it was different. All right, let's see here. The Google Sheet that I filled out with the questions and images, is that connected to Flippity? No, that's just a Google Doc. I just made a Google slide with that. And so I just build out, I like using Google Slides. I know other people like to use Jamboard and some of the other things, but for me, I like slides. And I have figured out how to lock the background of slides as well. I watched a good YouTube video that somebody sent me on that, on how to lock the back end of it. If there's something that you don't want them to change the shape of or different things like that, you can actually lock in a background in slides, and that was helpful. I don't think Google limits the number of people you can have in a Google Doc. I don't think they do. But but for this particular one, knowing that you all probably wanted to have access to the slides, that's way you could all make a copy of the slide deck that you did and then have access to everything. Because I knew there'd be so many people on the call. I thought maybe, or on the watching this, that maybe from a privacy point of view, you might just want to think about that. If you've got photos of 300 people in there and they don't necessarily want everyone to see the picture, so that way I'm like, in your team, you'll have at least 6, your 5 to 6 people there instead. Let's see here. Your district doesn't support Google Docs. Could a different platform be used? I would assume so. There are other, if you just Google scavenger hunt platforms, there are like Breakout Room EDU is one that I know that is another platform. There's a few others. I Googled several. This one here, Flippity, is free. So that's why I thought I'm going to try the free one first, see what kind of capabilities it has first. And then if it didn't work for me and I needed to go to a different one or a paid one, I did. But I found it to be pretty easy to edit once I kind of got the hang of it a little bit. So so that's why now I know Flippity really well, and I can, again, now that I've got a little bit of Flippity skills under my belt, I can now knock one out pretty quickly. So how did everyone get the link to their unique slideshow again? All right, I'll show you that. So what I ended up doing was I created, let's see, let me go to my the back end of my website again. So what I did was I created a breakout room assignment. So I made this, ooh, that is of not attractive photo of that. So let me paste this here. So I basically made a PDF and I uploaded it to the back side of my website, but I created this in Word. So this is just a Word doc that I made into a PDF, but each one of these is a hyperlink. So if I click on breakout room number 22, it's gonna literally take me to breakout room 52, and we can go see that was Team Girl Power, right? And so anyway, but this so creating that document took quite some time, because if you look, every single one of those rooms I had to make a slide deck for. I mean, I just cut and pasted it, or made a copy of it, and then go and change the, you know what, I'm gonna teach you how to do that real quick, because that was something that I learned the hard way also. All right, so let's say here's breakout room number 8. If you wanted to make sure first, if you want to make a copy, make a copy of the entire presentation, okay? So it's gonna ask you what you wanna name it. So let's call this breakout room number 91, since I know that was the last one that I did, okay? So, and then you get some options here, and then you hit okay. But once breakout room number 91 is open, it is not open to the general public unless you change your settings on it. So if you hit the share button over here, then this share button comes up, and right now it is restricted to only the people with this link can open it. So if you want to change it to anybody on the internet with that link can view it. So I did that so that way, but right now they can only view it. You have to change it to editor if you want people to be able to edit that document, okay? I didn't know that the first time, and I did a scavenger hunt and nobody could edit the document. I was like, why can't they move the word circles around? It's because I didn't change the settings. So then I copied that link and then I put that into the Word document that had slide deck number, whatever, all those slide deck numbers on it. So let's see here. So anyway, that's how I did that. So I went back to this document here in the Word format and went to, I could add down to the bottom, breakout room number 91. You hover over it, you make a link, and then boom, when you make it a PDF, then people can click on it. So that's how I made the unique slide deck for each one of the breakout rooms. And yeah, it's very time consuming. So, but again, if you only have 20 people on your hunt, you can just throw them all in one document. You wouldn't necessarily have to have 90 breakout rooms. And again, now I know I only had to build that 50, but I didn't know that until today. So, all right, other questions. Let's see here. Do you go back later and change all the permissions again? Let's see here. You can, after it's done, you could probably go in and change it to where then you've got the document, but not everybody in the world has the document. So you could totally do that if you wanted to. So what I would plan on doing is I created just a folder with the Facilitator Scavenger Hunt in my Google Drive. I just made one folder with all those slide decks in it. So if I was doing it with a different client, I would make another folder with that client name and then just put theirs in there if I wanted them to each have their own unique deck as well. So how do you gauge timing on the number of challenges? I've been playing with that a little bit because some groups, I did a hunt last week with a group, and I thought it would take I gave them 35 minutes. I'm like, this one is so hard. I want to finish it in 7 minutes and 36 seconds. So I was like, oh, well, now what do I do, right? Because, and then I was like, well, let me just go check on the other groups to see how they're progressing and how they're doing. Another group was still on clue number 2. Like they were long from being done. And I'm like, oh gosh, okay, now what do I do? So I think what I might end up doing, I don't know, I'm kind of learning along the way, but I might have a backup scavenger hunt built out just in case, kind of one that maybe is just a generic one. It doesn't have to be custom to one particular group, but if a group gets done in 7 minutes and I have other groups that are going to take the full 30, 35, then maybe I'll just send them on another fun hunt. So they're still working on things together, but it's not necessarily, we're not just hanging out in the main session room for the next 20 plus minutes together. I also have some good debriefing slides kind of already built out too. So that way I'll send them back into their breakout room. I'll make a link to a photo that they could then share and everyone can be answering questions from a photo or something, or from their slide deck or something like that. So bonus challenges, that would definitely keep people busy. Any way that you can include scoring, I think is what that's supposed to be, scoring in the hunt and a leaderboard and things like that. So I did a teacher in service scavenger hunt last week with a client of mine, and they are so competitive. And so that's where, like, going into the having that, take a screenshot of your final of the final time that you got when you unlocked your locks. So at the end, then I went back to their Google slide and I was like, all right, let's see who our team names are. So I went through all the names and went through each one of the times. And in first place, it was Team Awesome at blah, blah time. And then I went back, and then coming in second was, I put on my announcer voice almost a little bit, right? And they loved it. They thought it was so much fun. And then what we did was we debriefed with the teacher group. How can you take this particular concept and maybe, because for them I did a 5-lock challenge as well, and they're like, ooh, we have 5 days in the week that we need students to be working on specific subjects. So like, what if we built out a scavenger hunt, which each of the 5 lessons for the week, and then they can be working on them at their own, but they're still learning things, but it feels kind of like a game at the same time. So really, I feel like the possibilities are kind of endless with this. I'm actually building one out for my family right now as well. My hometown of Norton, Kansas is, it's in the very northwest corner of Kansas. Population 2,800 people in the entire county, which is about 45 miles by 45 miles. So it's not big by any means, but my family, we're now scattered kind of all over the world. Actually, all over the U.S., not all over the world, all over the U.S. That's not true. My brother's in Afghanistan right now, so he is on the other side of the world. So now when we have our family Zoom call, then we can, we're going to be doing a scavenger hunt about our hometown where my grandparents and my parents all grew up, and doing some fun. And I just randomly send, some of my different family members, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews, and then you can I've done some family trivia and different things like that, but it makes kind of a fun way to just bring families together as well. So I'm actually going to post it to my hometown's like Facebook page and just say, here's a fun family thing that you can go do. And so I'm gonna make it to where the onboarding slides and the actual event doesn't need to be facilitated. It's literally more of just a scavenger hunt. But again, I say this just so that you can start brainstorming what are all the different ways that I could possibly use this type of thing. So I'm actually gonna pull open, let's see here. I'm gonna pull open another document that I have, and I can just share with you a few of the other clues and hunts that I have built out for a few other clients. So that way you can kind of see what my brain has been doing for the last, it's like, I swear I can't get it to shut down now because it is, and I'm like, ooh, what's another cipher that I could use that I could make another clue and things like that. So I'm gonna share my screen and share with you the busyness of my brain lately. So, so here's another one here. Let's see here. Oh, this one's fun. Okay, so this one's called, I call it the Dingle Hopper Cipher. So I went on Google and tried to find unique decoding things. And so this one here is, I found a unique cipher called the Dingle Hopper Cipher, which I just think is a hysterical name of it. And it's actually a made-up cipher. It's a made-up cipher from a novel about a group of teenage cyborgs. But if you go to Google and you type in Dingle Hopper Cipher, you're going to find the code to it. And so anyway, so for this particular group, I use the specific letters in the, so each one of those symbols matches an alphabet letter. And then they have to go the blank and the blank blank, which is the Indian and the Puritan statue. This structure, so then once they figure out what that is, then they have to go online and figure out that structure, which is very unique to their area, is also a what? It's also a lamp. So then they have to type in that. So that's one. And actually, I probably have, here's the Dingle Hopper Cipher. So I just saved it as a photo so that I would have it. But this is what it looks like, all the alphabet letters and numbers and things like that, if it decides to load. Or not. Okay, we don't get to see that right now, sorry. Let's see here, what's another one? Oh, the semaphore flags. I learned this one from Dave Blum. And so let me find it in the actual, is that it? Nope, that's not it. Here it is, flagging down a clue. So this one here is, semaphore flags are marine flags. So each one of those flags represents a different alphabet letter. So this one here is another, you have to go to the location online indicated by the puzzle. So they have to first figure out what those clues are. So that might be one of the hints that I give in the little light bulb hint is search for semaphore flags, because if they have no idea what those flags are, they're going to be searching for country flags, and those are not country flags, they're semaphore flags. So in this town, find a statue of a woman is what that actually pulls out to be. And in that town, that statue is Rosie the Riveter. There's a statue in New Jersey of Rosie the Riveter. So that would be the answer to that particular clue. So, so anyway, that just kind of gives you a little bit of an idea. Oh, actually, let me show this. No, not that one. Where is this one here? This one was cool. I did this one for a group in Newark, New Jersey. And I did this one earlier today, so it was also World Diversity Day, and they were really trying to celebrate the uniqueness of all the different cultures in Newark. And so the Ironbound is a neighborhood in Newark, and it's got 5 main, it's a multi-ethnic community and suburb, and so they had to unscramble the words to discover what are the 5 main ethnicities or countries that people came from and immigrated from in that area. So that's kind of a fun one that you could do. So this just gives you kind of another idea of different ways that you can start your brain thinking down this. How could I come up with all these different things? So again, I saw some great examples from Dave and a couple other things. And so I wanted to share them with you to get your creative brains flowing on these and hopefully being able to come up with some of this stuff on your own as well. All right, so what I think I'd like to do next is I have just thrown so much information at you ever since the hunt was done. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms again. If you're still on, that's okay. Some of you might have had to jump off, and that's fine as well. But I'm going to open up the breakout rooms, let you go and debrief with the people that you did the hunt with. What are some things swimming in your brain right now around how you can use this?
what questions you still have. That'll also give me a chance to go back to the chat box, and I can actually go back and read through some of the specific questions that you've been asking as well. And then I'll pull you back out, give you 5 to 6 minutes or so in the breakout rooms, and go debrief a little bit, and then we'll pull you back in, okay? All right, here you go. Open all rooms. Hit join, if you would. And for those of you that are unassigned, I'm gonna just assign you to a room, because I know some of you probably joined in a little bit afterwards. So, all right, hit that button and it'll put you in. If you did not join button, but I'm just started assigning rooms. Hi.
Sorry.
Oh,
Michelle,
okay, I will move you. Where did I just put you?
sorry, actually, I just cut my internet, then come back. That's why it's
Erdem, okay. Do you know what room it tried to put you in?
19.
It tried to put you in 19. Okay, I'll go move. Oh, you were in 19. What room
Yeah.
did it? Okay.
But
Oh,
it says 13 now.
19. There you go. Erdem, I'm going to move you to 19. There you go. Okay, those of you that are still hanging out in here with me, if you can't get into a room, let's just debrief here. So go ahead and unmute yourself, ask me some questions, or kind of download, debrief. What, now you got me all to yourself. There's only like,
You got lucky.
I don't know, right? You're like, whoa, I didn't join a room, yay. All right, so what questions do you have, or what do you want to chat about here in the main session room?
Are there also platforms for escape rooms, more escape than scavenger hunt?
Yeah, breakout room EDU is more of an escape room style, and that one I think is also has a free feature to it. Of course, if you pay, you get, it opens up more features and things like that. But Flippity is totally free regardless of, I mean, there's not like a paid account for that one at all.
Okay. So you said that's breakout room EDU?
Breakout, actually, I think it's just breakout EDU.
Okay.
Breakout.edu, yeah.
I found a cool blog post. A bunch of the public libraries across the country built out escape rooms and were sharing them on Google Slides.
Oh, nice. Pinterest is another great place to go and find them. Go to Pinterest and just type in, you know, Google Slide escape rooms, and some people have publicly shared their stuff, and you could probably even, they probably even have even additional, you know, lots of other things that you could get examples from.
Okay, wonderful.
I had a question about the Google Sheets document that you had, that you'd put sort of like the question and the answer. So when you're in the back end on Flippity, it tells you to link a spreadsheet to it, or the spreadsheet, like in Flippity, there's a spreadsheet that links the two together.
Yeah, Flippity, here, let me share my screen real quick again, and I'll go back into this specific hunt. And let's see here. Wow, where did my internet go? Here it is. Okay, so this is the back end. So so the link for this specific hunt is, if you look down here at the bottom, that this is the Excel spreadsheet, and then it says get link here. So you click on this. This is the actual unique link. Will take you to that hunt.
Okay.
So, but you have to first, you have to make sure that you publish it to the web. See right here? It won't work until you publish it to the web. You will not be able to have this feature until you publish it to the web. So you have to do that first. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. There was a bunch of questions about the photos, because you were publishing photos to your website. You could just publish them to Google Drive though, right?
Yeah, you could. You could.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. another cipher, sign language. Just be sure you are very clear with which country are we referring to. Rep, that's true. That's true. That'd be a good one to do. I'm gonna write that one down. Sign language. Okay, let's see here. What other questions do you guys have? I'm also gonna scan the chat box and see if there's anything that I missed there. I'm sure there was lots I missed there because I was busy talking.
What was the name of the flags for like the naval flags?
Semaphore flags. So I'll type that in the chat box. Semaphore flags. That's what semaphore looks like. But if you just do a quick Google search on that, it'll bring, and then go to Google Images, and you can then like just save one of the photos in Google Images and be able to.
Okay, great.
Have you thought about just doing one that was like a bunch of like things to figure out for the Google Earth images? It seems like people really love Google Earth. Like,
oh yeah, that one, you could probably do an entire hunt just on Google Earth coordinates and figuring out different ways to do the coordinates. Absolutely. Yeah, Google Earth, it's fun. Once you start messing around in there, it's crazy what you can find too. So, all right. Or did I get people knocked out of their rooms? It looks like I did. Maybe they didn't want to. Oh, it's just telling me I have 3 people active in here. And then look, it's you 3. So I just got an alert that my breakout rooms were doing something weird. So, all right. I think, any other questions you guys want to ask me real quick before I pull everybody back in?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, I'm going to close all rooms. Give them 60 seconds to come back in. That was about 5 minutes, wasn't it? I think it was. I didn't look at my timer. So there's some details I missed about that. All right, welcome back. All right, the breakout rooms will close in 22 seconds and counting.
Michelle, have you done breakout EDU?
I have not done breakout EDU. I know of it, and I know a couple other facilitators that have tried it, and that's more of an escape room type of thing. They've got directional locks as well as color locks, and so that is definitely another option of more of an escape room kind of feature. And even if Flippity isn't working for you and you're like, I don't want to code stuff and things like that, just go and type in scavenger hunt platforms and you'll find other ones. You really will. And then just play around with them and see if it fits maybe your learning style a little bit better and things like that. So, all right. Anything that popped up in your small group debrief? Sorry if you got put in a random room because I just after a while just started sending people into rooms. So but if you did anything else pop up in your small group that you want to maybe discuss in the large group, go ahead. You can unmute yourself or raise your hand if you want to or whatever, and we can have a little bit of so Rebecca Tedesco, you raised your hand first. All right, go ahead, Rebecca. What you got?
Hi everyone. We were talking about the psychological advantage that technology has over a person, and that it might be less intimidating to co-facilitate a scavenger hunt at first, and have a second when you're doing Zoom stuff in general, just to take the edge off and support each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, phone a friend. Absolutely. So, and I think I saw in the chat box too, somebody asked me, what do I charge people to build out a unique hunt? And this I think will be different for everybody. For me, I tried to look at how much time it takes me to actually build one of these bad boys out. And then think about, well, what's my daily rates and what do I usually charge people? I usually charge by the event and not by the person, because I have found that it's still the same amount of time on my end, whether it's still 8 to 10 hours of my time, and then if only 10 people show up, but you built it out for 100, you don't want to get paid for 10 and not the 100 because it's the same amount of time. So I would say it's going to be different for each person, right? So you can kind of decide what you want to do for that. What else? Anybody else want to raise their hand, ask a question?
Yeah, one quick uh, can I go for it?
Yeah, Ravi, go for it.
Hey, hi. Thanks, Jen. This is Ravi from India. Good to good to see you after I last seen you in Montreal for the AE conference. Awesome. This has been splendid learning experience. First of all, huge gratitude from my end. And and my quick question is, can we all can the individual group sessions be recorded at the Zoom level? That's one. And two, more from a psychological perspective, what if some of the key members in the team get a bad internet connection or some technological challenges? Is there any backup plan that would help them plug in, especially if you're facilitating a corporate?
Yeah, so you as the facilitator, try to make sure you have really good internet, because it will, because if you lose the Zoom room, then the whole hunt is over,
Yeah.
right? And that would really stink.
Yeah.
So and as far as everybody, if someone's having real connectivity issues, I always tell them, I know it stinks to not have your video on, because when you're in, especially when you're breakout room, it's nice to see everybody, but that will actually help the connectivity be a little bit faster if they turn their video off. It usually helps with the bandwidth issue. So did that answer your question, Ravi? Did that answer your question?
Yeah, in part, yes, but what I wanted to know is just in case if your group breaks off and they, how do you facilitate that challenge, when they come back?
Oh, okay. So
usually teams have this tendency of blaming it on the technology that, yeah.
Yeah, so what you guys didn't see, when you guys were on your hunt, there were several people that were having challenges, right? So, and you'll see it in the recording, and when you go back and watch this later, I tried to like while you guys were on the hunt, I thought, okay, I'm gonna use this time to kind of like show them some things on the back end, because you guys were gonna be busy for 30 minutes, right? Oh, it's a disaster. When you go back and watch this later, you're gonna be like, okay. So anyway, so I would be like, all right, so I'd share my screen, I start showing things, and then someone would say, hey, we need you in this room. And I'm like, I'll be right back. And so then I would duck into a room, I'd come back, all right, and then somebody else would need me, or then somebody else got kicked out of a room. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna pause the recording right now, because it's probably gonna be painful to go back and watch later. But so yeah, so it just records the host. So while you guys are on your hunt, it doesn't record the individual breakout rooms. It just records me and the host. So when you go back and watch this later, I hope you get a good chuckle out of it. So yes, you can totally record it to your computer. That's usually what I do. I record it to my computer. You can record it to the cloud. You can do whatever you want. And it depends on the settings that you make as the host. So you can have it automatically record when it starts. Those are just kind of Zoom setting features, things that you can look at. Let's see here. Do I have suggestions for doing asynchronistic scavenger hunts? I have to think about that one. I mean, I suppose if you could do asynchronous where they're not doing it all at the same time, but then just monitor the Google Doc. I mean, you're going to kind of know, especially if you take a photo of your final time and then stick that into your slide, then you can just go back and look later how long it took people. The only caution with that is that then if they go and do the hunt again, they know all the answers. And so they could literally go back and just like, for me as the host, now that I know all the answers, I can go in and I can do a hunt in 1 minute and 32 seconds, right? Well, it's because I know all the answers. But that's one caution maybe on the asynchronous experience, is that once they do it, they could do it again just to decrease their time. I don't know. Some people are clever like that, right? Yes.
Hi, Gary from Denver.
Hey, Gary.
I've been looking through my chat. Ever got your? One of my teachers did, which was great, but I never got the link. is there, it seems to, it should have gone out, I think, at 3:21, and at 3:22, it jumps to 3:57 in my chat timeline.
That meant you were in the breakout room during the time where you missed the chat. And so, so anyway, so that's how the chat works. If you're in a breakout room, you don't see the chat from the main session anymore. And
So I would need to go back into, or, but
yeah, so if you're in a breakout room and you're like, oh my gosh, I closed out my locks and I need that link again, you come back into the main session room and just tell the host, I need the link again, I didn't get it. And then I would have to put it back in the chat box again to where you would have it there, and then you could click on it and then you'd have it again.
okay.
Yep.
So it would just chat, even though I have a chat in the breakout room, that is still not going to take us to what you gave me.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep. All right, cool. All right, 2 participants have their hand raised. Let's see here. Stephanie, you're up. What's up?
All right, I figured out the hand raise function, which is always exciting. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of things we talked about in our room that were impactful for us, but I think will also be relevant to a lot of us when we're doing this. So one thing that we really appreciated was that the technology was streamlined down to just 2 platforms. We had Zoom and we had Google Slides, and that was it. And we could click back in and out pretty easily. And really, you only need 1 user of the 4 to get into Google Slides, and that was awesome. One of the things that came up is that we talked about is the more technology you introduce, and we've seen this show up in other spaces where people are, let's use this platform for this and this platform for that, and add it all to the same call. The more you introduce, the more can go wrong, and the more things you have to teach people how to use. So this felt like a really good balance of the 2 without overwhelming anyone. And the other thing that we talked about just a little bit in terms of breakout rooms, and one of the things that I've found particularly with corporate groups, is not everybody's computer is enabled for video chat. So a lot of times you're going to get a person who maybe calls in and uses their monitor to see the group, and then they use their iPhone so that you can see them, and then they've got a device here and a device here, and hopefully they're both labeled with their name, and maybe they are and maybe they aren't, but that's one of those things that needs to be manipulated on the front end, just so that, and maybe there's a better way to do it than I've been doing it, but just to have space in one breakout room and their voice in a different breakout room, because then it gets really weird. I think it just emphasizes the point of having somebody behind the scenes kind of taking care of some of that breakout stuff while Michelle's doing her great production, to have somebody moving like the 2 Stephanies into the same room, for example, or whatever that happens to look like. But I just know that's something that's come up for me, and I could see that if we're depending on Zoom as our key platform, I could see that coming up for everyone else. And
yeah, I did not have a co-host on this particular one. Cheryl, who's usually my right-hand gal, she wasn't available today. So so yeah, and so you'll see again when you go back and watch the recording, you're gonna tell that like when a lot of you were on the hunt, I was like busy troubleshooting in the main session room. So so anyway, you'll get to go back and laugh at my expense a little bit.
We never would have known, Michelle. You did a great job. And also, only the host can do breakouts. Co-hosts can't unless there's a way to do that I don't know about. So that's something I learned the hard way too.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. All right, Joan, go ahead. What question you got?
So on the, you said that if it's only 20 people, you would use just the one Google Doc, I think you said.
Mm-hmm.
If are they all contributing to that one, or do they each bring it down into their own breakout rooms?
No, they would each be contributing at the same time. That's how I've at least run it in the past. So so yeah, so you just have one, and literally you have all 20 people, but then you have them go down to their assigned breakout room. So that basically they have one slide that they're working in, but it's still in the same document that everybody else is in.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You want to see it again?
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, if everybody's simultaneously in the document, but they're in their all individual breakout rooms, how's that being fed? I mean, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so it's just one link. So this is the one here. So this one here, someone changed the name of this one to breakout room 7. It's actually breakout room 1, which is fine, whatever. I couldn't pronounce that, but that's their breakout room. And so if you were in breakout room 1, you would still come to this document. If you're in breakout room 2, you're going to still come to this document. But once you get here, the first slide is proceed to the slide associated with your assigned breakout room number. So, so then they'll probably click around until they figure out they're just numerical in order, and then they see it, and then this is where they would add their unique their unique information.
Okay, got it. Now I understand. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, you're welcome.
I'm guilty for changing it to number 1.
Yeah. Oh, that was you, Siobhan? Oh, that's funny. Nice.
Yeah, I didn't get how it worked at the time.
So Siobhan was on my hunt earlier today, and now she's on this one. So she's like, oh, that was actually me. See, now I know who did it. That's funny. All right, friends. Well, we have been at this for 2 hours. So I'm sure several of you are like, okay, I gotta run. And I'm sure several of you are like, okay, it's time for this to be done. So thank you for joining me. I hope this was worth you signing on for, having some fun. I hope you saw some good stuff today that you'll be able to utilize and maybe at least see what's possible. You're like, okay, maybe I can maybe figure out a way to do more of these 90-minute events. You know, if we're going to be in this virtual team building world for a while, then how can I figure out how to take what I do really well in the in-person things and move it into this virtual platform for a little while. So anyway, I hope we don't have to stay in this world for a whole terribly long time, but we might be in it for another year or so, who knows. So, but it's a way that I feel like we can try to tweak and change and adapt a little bit to kind of meet this social distancing time in our lives. So, so thank you for playing. Thank you so much for, you know, spending 2 hours of your time. It takes a lot to sit in front of your computer for a couple of hours. So now please go for a walk, go hang out with your families, go do whatever you want. But thanks for playing, thanks for joining us, and I look forward to seeing you on future calls. So, all right, feel free to duck out if you want to. I'm gonna leave the room open for just a little bit, and I'm gonna stop recording though, and so that way then we can pull out, we can even answer a few extra questions, leave it open for just a second, but I'm gonna stop recording.